Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 22. It's time for another Season 9 2009 game mode, and to be honest with you, there's not that many left as we dive up on the inside of Lorenzo, and now up on the inside of Nicky Hayden, just had to square it off there, but Hayden has just retaliated, thus we are now probably not going to get this second objective of this one. It's probably going to be one of the first times I'm not going to get the secondary objective, which is not a problem because I can soon come back and do this some other point. But look at that, on the inside of Nicky Hayden, beautifully done going into turn 12. But we now have Loris Capirossi as we sneak it up on the inside for 13. Wet conditions don't seem to be too much of an issue as I completely stuck there. I couldn't move. Goodness me, the bike just simply stopped moving. Obviously it got onto a wet patch there, or extremely wet patch. It just could not move the YZR M1 anywhere then, so basically Loris Capirossi just basically kicked me up, so big thanks to Capirossi for this incident. But now into turn 15 for the final corner to end lap 1. We're going to be alongside the world champion from 2006, but we will pull away ever so slightly with the addition of power setting 3. Now I'm just going to try and probably mess around with both of them. I don't feel that particularly strong with power setting 3 in these bikes when it's wet. It's not something I've really experienced that much of, as we'll try and go around the outside of Depunier there. Not going to happen against the Frenchman. But I've also been playing a bit of Ride 4 recently, so I feel a little bit sluggish now returning back to MotoGP 22. It is really strange how both games can really affect one or another. If you're playing MotoGP, then you really begin to struggle on Ride 4, as goodness me. Randy Depunier just dived off his bike there, just ditched it into the right hand side for turn 4. But getting back to my previous point, it's the same when I play MotoGP after playing Ride 4, and it's the same when I play Ride 4 going to MotoGP 22. It even happens for some of the other games such as the Supercross and the MXGP games as well. You pick up habits and you pick up just little nuances that you wouldn't be doing in the other game. And one really thing that kind of bores me and gets annoying now with Ride 4 is just the arcade physics get a little bit frustrating after a while, because I do very much enjoy the more simulated style of MotoGP 22. It's a lot more punishing, and I feel getting pushed in MotoGP 22 is by far more enjoyable than what it has been in Ride 4, simply because the AI in Ride 4 as well is just really, really weak. Like, unbelievably weak. Much weaker than MotoGP 22. So now onto the right hand side, going into turn 13. Tony Elias ahead of us on board the Honda, of course. Our objective is to finish in 4th place, so we can get the objective done very soon. But because it's Valentino Rossi and because we want a podium to celebrate the 9th World Championship, you better believe we're aiming higher. We're going to aim to get onto the podium, and well, to be quite honest with you, the Casey Stoner Pedrosa are not that far away, so I'm not going to discount a chance of a victory here today in Sepang, but we'll find out very soon, won't we? So into the slipstream, Tony Elias, and across the line. We aren't the fastest man on track, still getting used to the feeling of the bike and feeling of the wet conditions, but we do dive up on the inside of Elias. That is clinically done from Valentino Rossi as their doctor goes on through on Elias, as now chucks it to the left hand side, really close to the apex there, almost touching the rumble strip, but just slipped the Yamaha in through. But look at Elias just pushing us to the max here, pushing us wide into turn 3, and he has regained the position. So unfortunately Don't Get Past has been, well, lost again there, as we're going to sneak up on the inside for turn 4. He's going to be right alongside me. He will have the inside line for the left, but he doesn't choose to take it. He wants to take the wider line and possibly line us up going into turn 7 perhaps. But a 1/10 of a second advantage at the moment is enough to keep Elias at bay for the foreseeable future. I just don't know how long we can keep him back, because he's certainly pushing with all his might right now, isn't he? So into turn 7 and now approaching turn 8 for the nice tight apex. Bring on the acceleration and bring on this braking zone. This is where I feel far superior than most of the other riders, and going in to turn 9 looking like Valentino Rossi with Valentino Rossi, because of course he was a master in that corner as well. But into the right hand as we go for this double long apex of one massive corner, bringing in nice and tight for the apex of 11, and then getting in a little bit wider, then bringing in nice and tight for the left hand side for turn 12. So as far as the electronics go, we are using traction control on 1, which is basically turning it off. It's the most reduced setting you can use in MotoGP 22. Anti-wheelie is on 2, and power is currently on setting 3. Now, of course, no engine brake used for these particular bikes, but the combination of a low traction control and a low anti-wheelie for me just gives me that most sense of feeling. So if you want to play around with your electronics to find what works out best for you, definitely tweak around with them. But I would advise anti-wheelie on 2 and TCS on 1. But across the line we are about to go now for the third time of asking to start lap number 4. We are the fastest man or men on the track right now, as we are the fastest player on the track right now, as Valentino Rossi is 4.7 seconds behind Stoner. Might be a big ask for a victory, but with Dovizioso's gap now dwindling to 2 seconds, you better believe we're going to be having a sniff at the fellow compatriot Valentino to hopefully get the podium. So we'll see what we can produce, but going into some of these corners it's still a little bit sketchy. I'm not fully confident with the bike, I'm not confident with the feeling of MotoGP 22 just yet in the wet conditions, because of course playing Ride 4 has made an impact that I'm still struggling to recover from. Now, some videos you will find that I'll get back into the groove and we'll start churning out some really fast lap times, and that's when I've been playing that game for a while. And then just going back onto Ride 4 after playing MotoGP, I also had the same difficulty recently, where I started making some really bad errors in Cadwell Park, which is rare for me because I absolutely adore that circuit, really love Cadwell Park. But I've just been thinking, actually, it's about time we discussed our next idea or chapter for MotoGP 22 regarding the Season 9 game mode. Now, there is only going to be 3 more episodes of this particular series, which has been fantastic and I've very much enjoyed. But my next thought was to actually do a full season from the 2009 series, but with one of the riders from that category, but I can't choose which one. Of course, I want to go for Valentino Rossi, maybe Andrea Dovizioso, give him a chance now he's actually beginning to retire from MotoGP, maybe give him his only chance of winning a World Championship, but 10 years prior. Maybe give Casey Stoner a back-to-back, or close enough to a back-to-back World Championship from 2007 and 2009, but you got to lean towards Dani Pedrosa. Dani Pedrosa is one of those riders that everyone felt that he will be world champion one day, but it just didn't happen. In MotoGP, that is. So maybe we team up with Dani Pedrosa, and maybe we get that young man at the time a world championship. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below, and we will discuss who we should be using for the next part of this Season 9 game mode, but with our championship version. So let me know in the comment section down below. But lap 4 seemed to be pretty fine and dandy, a 2:08.606. So as this track is beginning to dry, we're beginning to get a better feeling, we're getting the experience of playing in the wet. It's not an easy task to ride in the wet, especially not in MotoGP 22. The physics and the feeling of the bike does make it very difficult, but it's very enjoyable and it's extremely rewarding to find yourself going quick in these damp and sodden conditions. So into turn 5 we are going to be gradually bringing on the power. There you can see the gauge in the bottom right hand corner of your screen as we now launch it to the right hand side. We are closing in on Dovizioso, but not significantly. I did expect us to be taking chunks away from the Italian, but it hasn't materialised yet, as we just cut the apex there for the turn 7. It didn't seem to hinder us too much, but I will have to be careful of that in the near future for the next few laps. So into our strongest part of the track, a little bit wide for the first time, just trying to claw back some additional tenths on Dovizioso, has suckered us in for a little mistake. It's nothing too bad because we only lost a tenth and a few, maybe 3 tenths, but we did gain a lot on this particular lap, and I'm beginning to really feel it now. So here we go into the left hand side for 12. This is the part where I'm always tentative. Turn 13 is one of those gentle braking points where you have to be really gentle on the braking. You can practically see in the bottom right corner of your screen how gentle I was applying that front brake, but we managed it, and that's all that matters. It's very similar to the end of Mandalika into that final corner. It's just very difficult to get it right, and this time it was exactly the same. It's very difficult, a lot of pressure to get it right because you're on a great lap. You don't want to end up messing it up there, but good acceleration out of this corner was... I wanted it, but I didn't get it. We had a big wheelie and it also slid the rear, so unfortunately Dovizioso's third position is still out of reach for now. Going to be going as firm as we can now on the brakes for turn 1. We are closing into Dovizioso. I see Stoner in the distance. He's not that far away now, but he's still way too far for me now to get within the next 4 laps. It's going to be... I mean, it'd be a miracle if we get it done, and actually, I'm just doing the maths, it's 3 laps, so we need to really hurry if we think we can get onto the top step of the podium. But for now, I'm going to be content with a 3rd position as we go into the nice tight part of turn 4. Almost, yeah, that's a too wide, unfortunately. Did carry a lot of speed into there compared to the previous laps, but I've got to be honest with you. I'm not happy with my performance in this one so far. It's not how I usually like to feel in these ones, and don't know what it is, but the AI just seems really strong, and I'm happy for that. That's great, because it pushes me to the limit, and I improve my game as well, so that's what we want to see. But I'm not giving up. We're not giving up on 3rd position. Valentino Rossi have definitely got the speed. We're getting the momentum now, as you can see in the top right hand corner of your screen. 0.3 of a second quicker into this particular sector. Coming out to turn 9, if we avoid the wheelie, we should still be on it. We are still on it. Hashtag on it, like Sam Lowe's has on his helmet, and of course his propaganda. As we now bring on the power, coming into turn 11, going into the left-hand side for turn 12. A small wheelie, nothing to concern ourselves too much, but we are up by 0.4 of a second. This could be a very low 2:08 coming in for the 8 times world champion at the time of this event occurring. So now bringing on the power with power setting 3. There will be no slipstream to gain advantage from, but we are very strong on the brake, so give it everything we've got. Everything and a half as we now go into the left hand side for turn 15. Dovizioso is being clawed down, but is it going to be close enough to get a bit more slipstream? Still not. Another wheelie. I'm not sure why I'm getting these wheelies so much. I know you could say, well, anti-wheelies on 2, but I usually manage it very well. So we're still learning, it seems, but Stoner leading the way, Pedrosa in 2nd, Dovizioso in 3rd, and Rossi, who is in pursuit of that 3rd position. I'm giving it everything as we now go into turn 2. We are closing in on the compatriot, bringing on the power now. Be gentle for the right-hand side for turn 3, and then hopefully going into turn 4, we can be close enough to get right on the rear of the Repsol Honda. The Honda's still occupying 3rd position for now. It's a great day for Repsol Honda and their fans, but for now, Rossi is on the charge. He will be world champion by the end of this one, but it's going to be more special to get that championship on the podium, of course. So let's see what we can produce, replicating history here right now as we close in on Dovizioso. So the gap was down to 0.6, it's now down to 4. We're going to go firm on the brakes and bring it into the right-hand side for 7. Oh, we're right on it now. This is it. Ladies and gentlemen, steel yourself, prepare yourself, because we have got an overtaking coming. Should we go now? That's late on the brakes. Last of the late breakers is Valentino. It's usually Dovi, but this time around, Rossi up on the inside, 0.7 of a second quicker. What a lap. Brilliant performance, and Danny Pedrosa is 1.7, but oh, Dovizioso back up on the inside for 11. Brilliantly done. This one rages on. May I remind you that this is just a challenge. I don't need to be doing this, but it's so much more enjoyable. It's so much more enjoyable. So into the right-hand side for 14, the innocuous right-hand side corner that's just really, really careful. You have to be so gentle on the brakes. It's just one of those ones that have your heart in your mouths as you begin to bring on the front brake. So now braking nice and firm for the final corner of the penultimate lap. Danny Pedrosa might not be safe here. We are 1.4 seconds behind, but I do believe it was something similar when we absolutely brought on the charge to bring on the fight to Dovizioso, but for the first time we are into the 207s to 207.785. Look at the difference from where we started. Much different situation as we now go to the right hand. Oh my goodness! I've just dropped it! Oh, are we still going to get the challenge? I cannot believe it. Tony Elias is through. This challenge has gone heck to a handbasket, as now all of a sudden we've got to do all the work again to try and defend against Tony Elias. We have now lost both objectives. Oh my goodness. Someone was getting a bit too cocky. I cannot believe it. So now it's down to this, guys and gals. Almost blew it here as we dive up on the inside and a very late lunge into turn 4. Elias will yield the position for now. Is he going to be close enough? It seems like deja vu. I cannot believe I've just done that. I cannot believe that. That bike went without any sort of feeling whatsoever. I didn't even feel the vibration. It just gone. That was a very strange crash, I must confess, but obviously that was my error. Too firm on the brakes, trying to get as much speed as I can to chase down Pedrosa. We didn't need to do it. We really didn't, but my goodness, it made the content fun. So why not? That was good. But into turn 9 then for the final time of asking 0.8 of a second. It's just dipped to 0.7 of a second to Tony Elias. So hopefully there's not going to be any late heartache, because we could be finding him doing this challenge again. So, well, I think I'll have to do it again at some point. But for now, I'm worrying just about defending, about occupying 4th position to the end of the Grand Prix. Stoner, Pedrosa, Dovizioso, Rossi, Elias Lorenzo, Hayden and Mika Kallio all in the top 8 right now. Good to see the ice-cold Finn up there. Minus 36 degrees, of course. So bringing on the power. This is going to seal it. We should be pretty safe now. We're very strong in the brakes into the final corner, and we should have this one done and dusted. A little bit scary in this Grand Prix, I've got to be honest with you, but I very much enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. And if you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next video. I just wanted a big wheelie just to celebrate the victory of the MotoGP Championship, but I absolutely messed that up. Oh my goodness, what a day. Thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.